This video discusses the brutal murder of Laura Salmon, who was an 18-year-old student at Middle Tennessee State University. Her murder shocked the community, leaving investigators with only a lot of circumstantial evidence but not much solid proof. The case remained unsolved for more than 16 years until new DNA evidence led to the arrest and conviction of the main suspect. Laura Salmon's murder remains a tragic reminder of the impact of dating violence on individuals and communities and stands as evidence of law enforcement's tireless efforts to bring justice to victims and their families. On May 31, 1984, a farmer named Johnny Muckle made a grim discovery while walking through his property in Rutherford County, North Carolina. He found the body of a young woman lying face up in a field. When authorities arrived at the scene, they found a white woman who appeared to be in her early 20s. She was wearing only a bra, with 2 pairs of jeans covering her body. One was a pair of Sergio Valente women's jeans, and the other was a pair of Rustler men's jeans. A black members-only jacket was tied around her neck, and the rest of her body was concealed by the jeans. Additionally, a rock was found near the scene. At first, the identity of the woman remained a mystery. She had no identification on her and was not immediately recognized by local authorities. Her death was deemed suspicious, and her body was sent to the forensic lab for examination. Investigators did not find any immediate signs of sexual assault, but they did find evidence that suggested the woman had been murdered, with strangulation being a potential cause of death. Despite extensive efforts by local authorities, they were unable to identify the woman quickly. The case remained cold for over a year. However, investigators did release a description of the woman, and some items of clothing were examined for possible clues. The case stalled, but the investigation continued in the background. Over a year after the discovery of the body, a breakthrough came when a couple named Bill and Sue Salmon reported their daughter, Laura Salmon, missing. Laura had disappeared from her home in Michigan around the same time that the body was discovered in North Carolina. The family was able to connect Laura's disappearance to the mystery of the woman found in Rutherford County. DNA testing, a relatively new technique at the time, was utilized to confirm the identity of the body as Laura Salmon. In 1985, it was officially confirmed that the woman found in the field was indeed Laura. The tragic discovery brought some sense of closure to her grieving family, though the mystery of her murder remained unresolved. After the identification of Laura Salmon, the investigation turned its focus to figuring out how she ended up in Rutherford County, North Carolina, and who was responsible for her murder. Police learned that Laura had traveled from Michigan to North Carolina shortly before her death. She had been hitchhiking, which raised concerns about her safety. It was believed that she had been picked up by someone along the way. Over the years, the investigation continued with the help of various law enforcement agencies, but there were few leads. Detectives interviewed potential witnesses, but the trail grew cold. The case eventually went cold again, as the mystery surrounding Laura Salmon's death remained unsolved. In the year 2000, the case was reopened after a new lead emerged. Authorities discovered that DNA evidence, which had been collected from the scene of the crime, had been re-examined. New forensic techniques allowed for a closer look at the evidence, and this time, a match was found in a national DNA database. The match led to the identification of a suspect, a man with a criminal record who had been living in North Carolina at the time of the murder. The suspect, a man named David Lee, was arrested and charged with the murder of Laura Salmon. The DNA evidence had tied him to the crime scene, and further investigation revealed that David Lee had been living in the area at the time of Laura's death. David Lee's trial took place in 2001. The prosecution presented the DNA evidence, which was a key part of their case. They argued that the evidence clearly linked Lee to the scene of the crime and that he was responsible for Laura Salmon's death. The defense, however, argued that the evidence was not definitive and suggested that it could have been contaminated. Despite the defense's arguments, the jury found David Lee guilty of the murder of Laura Salmon. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict was met with mixed reactions, but for Laura's family, it was a long-awaited sense of justice after years of uncertainty. The murder of Laura Salmon was a tragedy that went unsolved for many years, but thanks to advancements in forensic science and the dedication of law enforcement, justice was eventually served. The details of her case reveal a dark history of violence and manipulation at the hands of David Kyle Gilley, who, despite his move to Bradenton, Florida, in 1986, could not escape the past. Gilley was working for Manatee County's Department of Public Works when Sergeant Rich Gherkin from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, with support from Detectives Sharp and Goodwin, questioned him on May 9, 2000. Despite Gilley's repeated denials of any violence toward Laura or knowledge of the quarry where her body was found, DNA testing on a semen sample found on the rustler jeans in 2000 linked him directly to the crime scene. As Detective Goodwin returned to Florida on November 13, 2001, Gilley admitted that his relationship with Laura was mostly sexual, though he continued to deny violence, even in the face of mounting testimonies from Laura's family and friends. Lou Renee Mackey, Laura's mother, recalled Laura coming to her in tears, frightened of Gilley's behavior. Friends such as Melinda E. and Connie S. recounted their first-hand experiences witnessing Gilley's aggression, pulling Laura's hair, slamming her head against a car, and repeatedly threatening to kill her. Despite Gilley's age at the time of Laura's death, Judge Donna Scott ruled that he would be tried as an adult, charging him with first-degree murder. After extensive pre-trial proceedings, a jury trial provided sufficient evidence for a conviction, bringing a sense of closure for the Salmon family after nearly 2 decades of grief and uncertainty. This case serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of forensic technology in solving cold cases and the persistence required to seek justice, even after years of unanswered questions. While it does not erase the tragedy or the loss felt by Laura's family, the resolution reaffirms the commitment to justice and honoring the memory of victims, no matter how much time has passed. Laura Salmon's story is both heartbreaking and a stark reminder of the devastating impact of violence in relationships. Her case highlights the challenges law enforcement faces when dealing with limited evidence, as well as the importance of persistence in solving cold cases. Laura's tragic fate continues to resonate, underscoring the need for awareness, support, and stronger preventative measures to combat violence in all forms. Thanks to advancements in forensic science and the relentless work of investigators, Laura's family finally found some closure. Her memory endures, urging society to remain vigilant and supportive of those affected by violence and loss. Thank you for watching. If you found this video meaningful, please like, subscribe, and share it to raise awareness and support the conversation around justice for victims. See you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest movie recommendations. Check out these videos on the screen for more great films to explore. See you in the next one.